Yes, here we are then, once again. We have started Friday's live stream, broadcasting across the internet, especially on YouTube, which is where you might be watching right now. Here we go again. Yes, it is English Addict live from a very windy, very gusty UK. And of course, this is the birthplace of the English language as well. Here we are. We are all together again once more. It's YouTube, it's live, it's Mr. Duncan, that's me by the way, and it's English Addict for Friday. I hope you are feeling good today. Can I just say one thing? I should definitely mention this before I continue. It is very windy today. You may have noticed at the start of today's live stream, during the countdown, you could see the trees were blowing all over the place, and that is because it is very windy today. I can't actually believe how windy the weather is after yesterday. We had a lovely day yesterday. The weather was very nice. However, today it has changed quite a lot. Very breezy, I think the word is. So there is the view right now behind me. We have had some showers this morning as well. Some rain has fallen. It is, well, to be honest with you, we're getting everything today. We're getting all of the weather almost at the same time. There is sunshine, sometimes there is rain, but all the time, constantly, there is lots and lots of wind. So I hope you are feeling good today. This might be a very interesting, unusual and maybe dramatic live stream because the wind is blowing so strongly my little gazebo, which is covering me, is blowing all over the place. Anyway, we will see what happens. Talking of which, what happened on Wednesday? We seem to have a lot of people suddenly watching the live stream on Wednesday. I'm not sure what happened. I have a feeling maybe on Wednesday, I think YouTube must have featured my live stream somewhere because all of a sudden I had lots of people watching my live stream, which was very surprising, to be honest. And I also had a feeling that many of the people joining were not learning English. In fact, they seemed quite confused by what was happening. Well, for those who are feeling a little confused, my name is Duncan. That's me, by the way. Some people call me Mr. Duncan, and I teach English on YouTube. That's what I'm doing now. I talk about the English language. I discuss different subjects. Sometimes I will talk about a certain part of the English language. However, the one thing I do like having here, I really love having fun and a laugh and a smile from time to time, and I hope you do as well. So we are all here. Yes, we have made it once more to the end of the week. The weekend is just around the corner. Yes, it's Friday. It is Friday, the weekend is arriving very soon. Maybe for you, perhaps for you, it has already arrived. I don't know because I'm not there. So here we go again. Yes, we are here once more. It is my Friday English Addict for all those who can't get enough of the English language. Every Sunday, Wednesday and also Friday as well. As the rain starts to fall above my head, and also on my shoulders. We are all here together again. Let's have a look at the live chat. Oh, yes, we have some very fast fingers today on the live chat. Hello to Partridge, Mosen, also Vitas, and also Beatriz. You are all first on today's live chat. Congratulations to you! I feel as if I want to give you an extra large applause today. I don't know why. I'm feeling quite generous, you know. I hope you are as well. I hope you are feeling very generous. Hello to Sujin. Nice to see you here again. I've just realised, by the way, as the rain is falling, it is actually getting my whole back and also shoulders very wet. I'm getting a little wet standing here. Hello also Victor. Hello Victor. Also Zuzika. Nice to see you here as well. Lots of people joining on the live stream. I don't know what that is. Is it a extra large delivery? I don't know. Something is going on behind me. I have a feeling today, I think today's live stream is going to be a little unusual for various reasons. Not least of all because of the weather. But also there are lots of things happening around me, including Mr. Steve, who is actually in the garden behind me. Right behind me, Steve is doing some work in the garden. Unfortunately, he doesn't have time to appear today, sadly, because he is very busy doing his gardening chores. However, there is some good news. On Wednesday, I promised to show you Mr. Steve and myself making tea cakes in the kitchen. I didn't have time to show it on Wednesday. However, today I promise we definitely will have Mr. Steve and myself, something we recorded earlier in the kitchen, making some tea cakes. We are going to toast some tea cakes together a little bit later on. I hope you will stick around. I hope you will stay with me. I hope you will not leave me. Now or ever. Hello also to Wait Anne. Hello to Wait Anne. Nice to see you here as well. Lots of people joining in. Belarusia is also here on the live chat as well. Nice to see you back also. Mustafa Venugopal. Hello, Venugopal. A very interesting name you have there, if you don't mind me saying. Nice to see you. Also, we have Lena. Hello, Lena. Can I just say, I haven't seen you for a long time, so welcome back. Lena, with the vodka. Hello to you. Thanks for joining me. Yes, it is. I don't know what's going on behind me, but it's very noisy. Excuse me. Oh, I know what's happening. Someone is having oil delivered to their house. Now, lots of people around here don't have gas, so we have to have oil, including us. So all of our heating is powered by oil. And at the moment, oil is very, very cheap. You may have heard that oil is actually very cheap at the moment. Hello also to Beatriz. Hello Roxy, Julie, lots of people here right now. Very nice. Thank you very much for joining me today. Something very strange is happening on my phone, by the way. I told you that today's live stream was going to be very busy and unusual. So behind me, one of my neighbours is having oil delivered, and in front of me, my gazebo is blowing all over the place. Luis Mendez. Oh, hello, Luis. Nice to see you here as well. Nice to see you back as well. Great. I don't know what is happening to my... I'm not quite sure what is happening here. That's better. The technology is ganging up on me. I knew today was going to be weird. I had a feeling today's live stream was going to be strange. Hello also Mirella. Mirella, nice to see you here again. We are doing a few things today, quite a few things. We are looking at things that give you a little bit of pleasure. We all like to find little moments of pleasure in our lives. Sometimes these pleasures can be very small and very brief. It is very strange, quite strange sometimes, how certain things can make you feel happy. Even a very small event or a small action. Things that you look forward to doing. And it can be something very small, very tiny, something that is not very important. So that's what we're doing today. Also, we have some unusual words. Quite often on Friday, we will look at unusual words, and that's what we are going to do today as well. Massimo! Hello, everybody. Sorry, I am busy. I will replay the live stream later. Okay, Massimo, hello and goodbye. Tamara! Hello, Mr. Duncan. I can see it's windy. It seems very cold. Can I just say, it isn't cold today. It's actually quite mild. However, the wind is strong. That is true. Hello, Helena. Grace. Also, we have Emanuela here. Nice to see you as well on the live chat. Yes, it is English Addict. That's what this is called. If you are watching this and you are wondering, what the hell is that? Who the hell is that? Well, that's what's going on. So now you know. Hello also to Helena Nishtar. Hello Nishtar. Nice to see you back as well. We have a lot of things to look at today. We are making tea cakes with Mr. Steve. We are going to toast some tea cakes. We are going to look at some interesting words. Also, good news for those who like football. Guess what? In some parts of the world, football is going to restart all over again. Very good, Mr. Steve. Very good. I know a lot of people I know you are going to ask, Mr. Duncan, do you ever play football? My answer to that is no. However, in the area where I live, during the summer, there is one particular game that is played quite a lot. Can you guess what it is? Well, you don't have to guess because I'm going to show you now. Ooh. So there it is. So this is very close to where I live. This is a field, a recreation field where lots of things happen, and as you can see, there is a cricket match taking place. This is something I filmed last year. So quite often in the place where I live, they will have cricket matches. And a fly has just flown into my mouth. That's good. However, as I mentioned on Wednesday, I don't play cricket. I don't play sport. In fact, any sport. Sometimes I like to go for a walk. I'm not sure if walking is a sport. Is it? Maybe. Maybe not. So here in Much Wenlock we do play cricket. We have cricket matches taking place during the summer. We also have our own local Olympics as well. So here in the place where I live we also have our special local Olympic Games. And the reason why we do that, and the reason why it is also very special. Oh, I think that team must have won. Did you hear that? I think the team must have won. So the reason why we like to have our Olympic Games here is because it's been going on every year for over 100 years. Did you know that? And this particular place was the inspiration for the modern Olympic Games, the inspiration for the revival of the Olympic Games. It's true. Hello to... Oh, hello, Irene. Hello also to George. Hello, George. Nice to see you back as well. Hello, Beck. Hello to Beck, who is watching in Kazakhstan. Please, can you say my name? From Kazakhstan. Hello to Beck Mukanbetov. I hope I pronounce your name right. I really do. We also have Mika. Hello, Mika. Nice to see you back again. Oh, teacher, how much I enjoy watching you. Oh, that's from Belarusia. I'm getting my messages confused here. Something very strange happened on my phone. So I was reading my live chat and then suddenly a voicemail appeared on my phone from many days ago. And I couldn't see the live chat. A very strange moment. I don't know what happened. My phone sometimes does things by itself. I don't know how it happens, but it does. It definitely does. Hello to Robin Hakim in Germany. Mr. Duncan, you are one supremely. I love you. Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. I do like doing this. I have been doing this for a long time. I'm not going to say how long, because people say, Mr. Duncan, you are boasting. Well, sometimes it is good to blow your own trumpet. It is. Sometimes you have to talk about the things you do. Hello, Marcia. Hello also, Mercedes Ferrandez, Mr. Duncan, and everyone from the very hot Madrid. Summer is here. Oh, I see. So hello to a very hot and steamy Madrid. Hello also, Tiago. Hello, Mr. Duncan. When I see the environment and the atmosphere behind you, I always have a good feeling of peace. And in this difficult time here in Brazil and all around the world, I really need this. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. I like doing this, even though things are still very strange. Can I tell you something? I know this is probably not interesting, So I will apologise now. But yesterday we went to pick up Mr. Steve's wheel for his wheelbarrow, which was broken. If you remember last week, I showed you Mr. Steve's broken wheelbarrow. So yesterday we picked up Mr. Steve's new wheelbarrow wheel, and we were greeted by a very strange sight. Lots of people queuing outside the store, and that particular type of store is a DIY store. So they sell lots of things for if you want to renovate your house or do some work to make your house better. Maybe you want to paint, or maybe you want to put some wallpaper up. Maybe you need to buy some wood. So quite often, yes, people will go to a DIY store. And yes, it is open at the moment. It is actually open, despite all of the things that are happening right now. But we were amazed to see how miserable everyone looked, standing outside, waiting to go in to the store. Fortunately, Mr. Steve had also arranged to pick up his new wheel, so we didn't have to stand in the queue. However, lots of people who were waiting to go in did. They had to stand in a very long queue, and of course they were standing very far away from each other. But they did not look very happy. I have a feeling some of them were waiting for quite a while. I think so. Hello also to Hiwa. Hello Hiwa. Nice to see you here. How are you? Are you okay? I really hope so. Mr. Steve is in the garden right behind me. He's doing a little bit of work in the garden. He is actually on holiday at the moment, but during his free time he's decided to do a little bit of gardening. So that is what he is doing. Hello to Freddie. Mr. Duncan, I guess you said never and ever I will show my legs. Today you showed your legs to us. Freddie, you are right. Yes. It isn't very often that you get to see my legs, but you did a few moments ago when I was playing football with Mr. Steve. What strange fun is cricket? Do they play it elsewhere other than Britain and India? I don't know. I don't know where else in the world. I suppose Australia. They play cricket also in Australia. They have a very good team, in fact, and also New Zealand as well. So there are other cricket teams around the world. So a lot of people think of Britain and also India when we think of cricket, but cricket is actually played in many other parts of the world as well. Hello also to Fly Away. Hello Mauricio. Nice to see you here as well. I have to tell you that my daughter loves your garden so much, and she said to me that she wants to buy your house. Well, maybe one day, who knows? Perhaps one day we will move to another place and then you can buy this. It can be all yours. However, I get the feeling, I have a strange feeling that maybe we will not be moving from here. I have a feeling that we will be living here until the end of our lives, whenever that may be. So I think we will be here for some time to come. Hello also to Augustina. Hello Augustina, nice to see you as well. Very nice. Our neighbour this morning gave us some food. Definitely, yes. As you can imagine, I was very pleased to see the food delivered, but my neighbour gave us some scones. some freshly made scones. I haven't had it yet. I will be having my scone after the live stream has finished. Hello also to Andy. Hello Andy, who says greetings from Czech Republic. Nice to see you here. Can you recommend some British movie for beginners? Well, I suppose you can watch anything, really. If there is a movie, maybe something or maybe a type of movie that you enjoy watching, then perhaps that is what you should do. So always learn by looking at something or reading something that you enjoy anyway. Maybe a subject that you enjoy. Maybe you could watch a documentary about a certain topic that you like. So I always find that learning is much easier when you are studying something that you enjoy doing, maybe a certain subject. Mr. Duncan, did you know who won the Champion Trophy of 2017 in cricket that was held in England? I might be the wrong person to ask that question to, if I was honest with you, because I don't know much about sport. I am guessing, I'm going to guess that it may have been, I want to say Pakistan, because Pakistan also has a very good cricket team. But I don't know that much about cricket. Please do not assume that I know about cricket, because I don't, unfortunately. So maybe you could tell me who won the World Champion Cricket Trophy in 2017. Maybe you can tell me, because I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe it was India, maybe Australia, perhaps New Zealand. I don't know. I have no idea. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I am Antonio, and I'm living in Germany, and I love your teaching. I learn a lot. Thank you very much, and thank you also for your lovely, lovely thumbs up. Very nice. Hello, Lily. Lily Chung. Hello, Lily. Hello, it's my first time here. Is it really? Can I just say, it is so windy today. I wasn't quite expecting this, to be honest. I didn't think today's weather was going to be quite so... What's the word I'm looking for? Crazy. Look, so there is the view right now behind me, and you can see it is rather windy today. I am really, really being adventurous. Sometimes it is good to do things that are adventurous. I'm not sure if this is one of them. I'm really not sure. But you can see the trees are really blowing around behind me. Oh my goodness. Was this a good idea? Was it? I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure. Oh my goodness. Palmyra says, your neighbours are very friendly, Mr. Duncan. Do you have something to offer for them or to them? Yes, well, we make jam, as you know. So Mr. Steve likes making jam. So if we have a new batch of jam, we will give some of our jam to the neighbours. So we do the same thing. Yes, you are right. My neighbours are very kind and generous. Generally speaking, many people around here are friendly and kind. Andy says, Mr. Duncan, do you remember? If a man doesn't make new acquaintances as he advances through life, he will soon find himself left alone. Ah, That sounds to me like Samuel Johnson. I think so, yes. Tamara says, do you know the people... Oh, I see. Do people in Much Wenlock know you as a very popular blogger who is known in the world? Some people do know about my work, and some people don't. And some people try to pretend that they don't know about it, if you know what I mean. What is going on with the weather? My goodness. I really can't believe how windy it is here today. Maybe I should have done the live stream in the studio. Maybe. Belarusia says there was a typhoon in Bangladesh and India. Yes, I saw it last night on TV. Some terrible scenes. Some horrible scenes. There was a huge typhoon that crashed into Bangladesh and also India as well. Very, very terrible. Quite a terrible situation there at the moment. Sergio says, they say that baseball is just a version of cricket, but only a stupid one. Really? That is your opinion, not my opinion. Talking of which, sometimes when a person is talking about what another person has said, or maybe something that other people believe, sometimes you will see people use quotation marks. However, they will do them with their fingers. They will actually use air quotations. Have you ever seen a person do that? They will actually use their fingers to create quotation marks when they are talking about something. They will add them physically with their fingers as they are talking about a certain subject. But what does it mean when we say that a person is making air quotation marks? What does it mean? Well, air quotation marks means to physically show that a statement is another person's opinion or their point of view. Sometimes it is used in a humorous or ironic way. So we do this with our fingers when we are quoting what another person thinks, or maybe something that people believe, but maybe yourself you don't believe it. So even though you are saying something, you are showing that this is what other people think. You are using air quotation marks. You are showing that this is what someone else, or maybe other people, believe with your air quotations. I like that. It is a very unusual thing, and people do it quite often, especially when they are talking about an opinion that other people might have. Air quotation marks. Very unusual. You are watching English Addict on a very windy Friday. I'm just wondering whether I've made a big mistake doing this today outside, because it is so windy. I can't begin to tell you. I do feel slightly threatened by the wind, to be honest. Just very slightly. I am back. I just had to do something then because the weather got so bad. It really did. Hello to Dorota. Nice to see you here as well. Also Mustafa. The idea might be to shut off your camera and take a break. Maybe. You might actually get to see me blown away by the wind. It's incredible. I can't believe how windy it is. Can you please give me some of your jam, Mr. Duncan? Well, we do have a lot. There is plenty of jam for everyone. Hello to Richard. Today it is very windy and I think you can fly a kite. Yes, I would say that today is a very good day. A very good day for flying a kite. I think you are right. Have you had your tea? Your cup of tea yet? Not yet. I'm having my cup of tea at the end of today's live stream. Malia. Hello, Malia. Mr. Duncan, how many children do you have? I don't have any children. That's why I always have a smile on my face. Hello, Peter. Nice to see you back again. Hello also to Burak. Burak. Hi, Mr. Duncan. And hi, Burak. Nice to see you here also. It is a very strange day because the weather is a little worse than I thought it would be. I wasn't expecting the weather to be quite as bad as this. We were talking about food a few moments ago, and I thought today it would be a good excuse, a good reason, a good way of looking at some interesting words in the English language. We are going to have a look at something I recorded with Mr. Steve. We were in the kitchen, and guess what we were doing? We were toasting some lovely tea cakes. And then after that, we will be back right here, live. Unless, of course, I've been blown away. Oh, hello there. Welcome to the kitchen. It's Mr. Duncan and
Mr. Steve.
Come over here, don't be shy.
Oh,
There's the camera, it's over there. So here we are in the kitchen. What are we going to do?
We are going to make some tea cakes.
Well, we're not actually making them. We're going
to put them in the toaster.
We're going to toast them.
Toast the tea cakes that we have previously purchased from a local bakery.
And here they are. Here are the tea cakes. Look at that. Aren't they gorgeous? 2 fresh tea cakes. Now, some people think that tea cakes and hot cross buns are the same thing, but in fact...
Oh, do they?
In fact, they are not. They are not the same thing. Tea cakes are normally larger, and also they don't have the cross on the front. Also, they are not as flavoursome. They don't have as much spice or lemony zest inside them. So normally...
Lemony zest?
Lemony zest.
Oh.
I love the lemony zest.
It's just sort of sweet bread with some currants or raisins added.
So they don't have such a strong flavour as hot cross buns, but they are still delicious.
They are delicious.
So, Mr. Steve, what do we need to do first?
We need to, well, these were frozen and we've defrosted them. We need to take them out of this packet of it. We can't put them in the toaster while they're inside that plastic bag.
No,
that I know for certain.
That would be very silly. So don't forget, don't toast them in the bag because the plastic will melt and they will taste terrible. So
they freeze very well, of course. We bought them fresh, but we bought too many and we froze some of them and they are absolutely delicious. As defrosted, bread freezes very well, as we all know.
And there they are, look, lovely. Look at those lovely tea cakes. So now Mr. Steve is
nice bun.
Mr. Steve is going to cut them in half.
Careful, I'm armed with a sharp knife.
I'm not sure if we should trust Mr. Steve with a sharp knife.
Right, so here we go. I'm going to cut these in preparation for putting in the toaster. There we go. That one, I'm going to put that one straight in the toaster. And I'll meanwhile cut the other one in half. so that we're ready, because when we butter them, we want to make sure the right halves go with the right buns.
Yes. Try not to do all that. There's one thing I've noticed with Mr. Steve. When he's doing something, he likes to bang things around and clang, which is great for real life. But unfortunately, on camera, when you are listening at home, it sounds dreadful. So try to do everything quietly if you can. Do it silently. Silently. Including but the voice can be big.
Fine. Well, they're going to take about 2 minutes to toast in there. So meanwhile, shall I get ready with the butter?
Ah yes, we're going to put some lovely butter. Now you have to have butter on your tea cakes. There is something I've noticed, because the word butter can actually be used in other ways as well. Is that true, Mr. Steve?
That is very true, yes. Butter is normally for spreading on bread and things like that, but it can be used in other ways. So here we go, butter. The word butter can be used in more than one way. For example, it can be used as a verb in the phrase butter up. If you want to win someone's favour, or if you want to get someone on your side, you might try to charm them by doing something nice. You butter them up. You try to butter them up by being nice to them. So the phrase butter up means flatter a person or suck up to them. For example, I need my friend to drive me into town tomorrow. I will have to butter him up by treating him to dinner. To butter up a person means to flatter or charm someone so as to get on their good side. You ingratiate them. Butter or butter up. Now, I could butter up to Mr. Duncan, couldn't I? I could say, oh, Mr. Duncan, I will do that later. We'll show an example. No, I'll do it now. That pin.
Over here, the camera's there. I don't know where you're going.
Well, you're moving me around, right? Oh, Mr. Duncan, I'm going to butter up to Mr. Duncan now. Mr. Duncan, what's happened to you? You look so slim. Have you lost weight?
Oh, thank you. I think Mr. Steve is trying to butter me up. I think Mr. Steve wants something. So butter up means to flatter someone or to ingratiate yourself, to creep around someone, normally for a favour. Okay?
Any chance that I could, appear on your show on Sunday, your Ask Mr. Duncan show again?
You're on it now.
You're so slim, you're so good looking, Mr. Duncan.
Okay.
What have you done?
Come on, I'm hungry.
Right, that pinging sound meant that this out of the toaster. And, there we go. Mr. Duncan won't like that one because it's burnt. You don't like burnt buns, do you, Mr. Duncan?
I don't like my buns burnt.
Right.
I don't like my buns too brown.
Right, on we go with the butter.
Try not to bang around. Please stop banging. It sounds terrible on the camera.
Mr. Duncan likes lots of butter on his tea cakes. I won't say where else, but he certainly likes them on his tea cakes.
I like my buns buttery.
Oh, Mr. Duncan. Right, there we go. That's one done. Is that enough butter for you?
That's great. That's good, Mr. Steve, thank you.
Match that up there. No, that's not quite right. There we go. Oh no, what's happened to that? It doesn't seem to match.
It doesn't matter.
There we go.
So there we go. There is the first tea cake. It has been toasted, and as you can see, there is some butter. It is now melting on the tea cake. So, Mr. Steve is now going to toast his tea cakes.
And there we go.
By the way, just in case you have just joined us, we are live. Well, this isn't live, but in a moment I will be live again on a Sunday. Yes, we are here. Live as live can be on Sunday afternoon. I hope you are enjoying this live lesson.
My fingers are all greasy then, so I was using a paper towel to wipe all the butter off. So it's going to be a long time. We've got 2 minutes, at least 2 minutes to wait before the next tea cake comes out of the toaster. So
well, I know what I'm going to do.
I think you should eat yours because it'll go cold.
I'm going to have a bite of the tea cake to see how nice it is, to see how well.
It'd be nice, please.
How well Mr. Steve has toasted this tea cake. Let's see. Okay.
Of course, they go very nicely with a cup of tea. Hence the name tea cake. Well, actually, it could be called a tea cake because you have them at tea time, but I think it's because you have them with a cup of tea, which we haven't got ready, but we can make afterwards. In fact, shall I put the kettle on now while we're waiting?
No.
Oh, suit yourself.
It's too noisy.
Oh, but I could pretend.
Pretend? What are we, 5-year-olds?
Right, no, that's not quite done yet. I'll give it another 30 seconds of heat.
Mr. Steve likes his buns very brown.
So, oh, right, okay. I don't know what you... That is brown, look.
These are delicious. Very nice.
It's very hot, you know. Toasters get very hot. Right.
There is another type of bun called a scone or scone, and they are much smaller, and normally they are made with pure butter or fat.
Oh, and another word for a bun is your buttocks.
Yes.
Your buttocks, you call your buttocks buns.
So your buttocks or your bum cheeks can be called buns. Now, that normally comes from American English. So if you talk about someone's nice buns, you might be talking about their bread, but also you might be talking about their lovely sexy bottom. Ooh. Okay,
Yes.
Mr. Steve?
There we go. So that could actually, yes, it looks a bit like someone's bottom. That does. Let's go. Right. You naughty bun.
Look, can I just say now, for the record, Mr. Steve, can you stop banging things around?
I'm going to put that butter back in the fridge, otherwise it'll melt and go.
Do it quietly.
There we go. Right, so I'm ready to eat mine now.
That's it, we're going to eat our tea cakes. I've already eaten half of mine. Thank you very much for following us.
Delicious.
We're now going back to the studio, live to rejoin Mr. Duncan. That's me.
Oh, all right, Mr. Duncan. And I look forward to seeing you again very shortly. Where am I going to be? Stuck in the corner?
Maybe. I haven't decided yet.
Outside?
I don't know yet.
It'll be a big surprise.
Off we go.
Bye.
Bye.
Can I just say that we are not in the studio now. Unfortunately, we are actually outside. I know one thing, I do wish I was in the studio right now. Everything is blowing around. It is a very windy day for those who've just joined me. Hello there. It's Mr. Duncan live on Friday afternoon in the UK, English Addict. I hope you enjoyed that. It was Steve, as usual, making lots of noise in the kitchen. We were making our tea cakes, something that is very popular here in the UK. Quite often we will have a tea cake with some butter or maybe a little bit of jam as well, also a cup of tea, and it is something we have quite often in the afternoon, or maybe if we go out at the weekend, maybe we will treat ourselves. We will have something nice, maybe a little tea cake and a cup of tea. Although at the moment we are not doing that because all of the cafes and restaurants are still shut. They are still closed. Talking of pleasurable things, is there something in your life that gives you a little bit of pleasure? We are talking about the small pleasures of life. Is there something in your life, something that you do occasionally that gives you pleasure? It can be a simple thing. It doesn't have to be something complicated. It doesn't have to be something big or expensive. It can be a small moment of time, something that you do that just gives you a little bit of pleasure. You think, oh, I quite enjoyed that. Maybe it's a small thing, not a very big thing,
I will give you a good example. Here is something that I love doing. I don't know why, but I love drinking coffee. You may have noticed that sometimes during the live stream I might have a cup of coffee. Well, guess what? There is also... Oh, there's Mr. Steve. Did you see that? There is Mr. Steve. That was Mr. Steve making a very brief appearance on today's live stream. However, drinking coffee is very pleasurable. But there is something else that I love doing as well. Something that gives me a lot of pleasure when I do it. Can you guess what it is? When I open a new jar, a new container of coffee, I love the sound and also the aroma when I open a new jar of coffee. So can you see it there? You put your spoon, or maybe you use your finger, and you open the new jar of coffee. And there is nothing more pleasurable than the aroma of a new jar of coffee. I don't know why. So quite often people will put their spoon, so you can see there that the spoon is being put into the foil on the top of the jar. So that part of the jar is sealed. So when you open a new jar of coffee, I don't know why, the coffee always smells amazing. I love the smell of a newly opened jar of coffee. It is amazing. So that is one of my small pleasures. It's a very small pleasure. It is a simple thing, not a big thing. However, when I open a new jar of coffee, I don't know why, I always find it exciting and pleasurable as well. So that is one of my little pleasures of life. A very simple moment. However, it means a lot to me. What gives me pleasure? Belarusia says, listening to your voice, Mr. Duncan. Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. So we are talking about small pleasures. Here is another thing. I know this is strange, but here is another thing that gives me a lot of pleasure when I do it. I do it on my computer. Something that gives me pleasure. Quite often when I'm going through my files on my computer, quite often I will delete the files. However, they don't leave the computer completely. They normally go into your trash can or your trash container or the trash file. And over time you can get lots and lots of things in your trash folder. So one of the things I love doing, and I don't know why, it always gives me a lot of pleasure, is when I empty my trash or recycle bin. So some people call it their recycle bin on their computer, and there you can see it there. I will show you there. Can you see it on the screen? And after a while, quite often you will have to empty the recycle bin. And I don't know why, I always find it quite pleasurable to empty my recycle bin on my computer, because suddenly you get a little bit more space on your hard drive. I don't know why, but emptying my recycling bin or the trash file, the place where you put all of your unwanted files, you can delete them permanently. You will empty your recycle bin on your computer. And I don't know why, it always gives me a lot of pleasure. And you have that little sound as well. It's like paper being thrown away. It's like a little... I don't know why, it always makes me feel slightly excited and a little giggly, because I know that once I empty my recycle bin, I will have a little bit more space on my computer. I don't know why, but it always it always gives me a little bit of pleasure. It puts a smile on my face. I don't know why. It is one of those strange, small pleasures of life. Mr. Duncan, I am on a diet at the moment, and you are showing lots of delicious food. Oh dear. I think I'm being scolded. I'm being told off. Something else. Oh, Palmyra says, I get the same feeling when I open a new bar of soap. Yes, there is something lovely when you open a new bar of soap. Quite often, soap will come in a little box. So when you open it, oh, the smell is always gorgeous. The aroma from the soap when you open the box. And it always gives you a little bit of pleasure. I don't know why. But they are very small moments of time, and for some reason, I don't know why, they give you a little bit of pleasure. Here's another thing. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. This is something I love doing. I don't do it very often because I'm not a person who buys things all the time. However, when I do buy something new, and I'm sure you have the same feeling as well, there is nothing more pleasurable than unboxing. Unboxing. So there you can see it. Unboxing over there. There it is. So when you get a new item from Amazon, or maybe something that a person has sent to you, maybe a gift from another person, there is nothing more exciting than opening a new box. A box that might contain something like a mobile phone, maybe, or perhaps a new television, or maybe some new clothes. Something that you are unboxing, something that you are opening. It can be very pleasurable. It can be very exciting. It's a little bit like opening a present from a person at Christmas or on your birthday. So quite often I think the feeling is very similar. It is a little pleasure of life. Unboxing something. Taking something out of a box. A new item that you have ordered. Sergio says, it sounds as if you like to crush and delete. Yes, I do. It's for some reason, I don't know why, it is very pleasurable. Especially when I look at my hard drive on my computer and then I find that I have a lot more space. So sometimes emptying your recycle folder on your computer can give you a lot of pleasure indeed. So small pleasures of life. What things give you a little bit of pleasure? Sunshine says, these are very boring pleasures, Mr. Duncan. I don't think they're boring. They're wonderful. There's nothing more exciting than opening a new jar of coffee. And you get that fresh smell of coffee. Ooh. Or maybe you are opening something, a box. Maybe a box that contains your new mobile phone, or maybe your new computer. It is inside the box and you feel so excited. We call that feeling anticipation. So the feeling of anticipation is the feeling that you get just before you do something that you know you will enjoy. Something you know you will like. Something that will give you pleasure. The feeling of anticipation sometimes is very pleasurable. So yes, opening something. Lewis says, Mr. Duncan, you know it better than me, but your recycle bin isn't inside your computer. But when it's full, it's full. Yes, that is true actually. But I sometimes I'm a bit lazy and I let my
I let my recycle bin get too full. And of course, when that happens, you do lose a little bit of space on your computer. Hello to Beatrice. I feel special pleasure when I'm buying a gift for someone else. Ah, I like that very much, says Beatrice. Yes, I suppose there is an element of pleasure that you get when you are buying a gift for another person. Maybe you feel the excitement. You imagine the excitement that they will feel. So when they open the gift from you, you are almost excited because you feel the excitement that they will feel when they open the present. I think you're right, yes. Malia says, when I learn new things, it is my pleasure. Yes, I think so. Finding out something, or finding out something that you are interested in. So over the years, when you learn something new, perhaps that new knowledge can take you in a whole new direction. Maybe you can learn not lots of new things. That's one of the reasons why I love English, you see. I like the English language because I believe that you can learn lots of other things, communicating with other people who speak English around the world. So it is a very good way of learning new things. Sergio says, I like to open a new bottle of vodka and then I like to delete a shot of it. So you make it disappear. You make your vodka disappear. I wonder where it goes. I have a feeling I know. Valentina says, I've just emptied my recycle bin on my computer. So lots of little moments of time that can give you all sorts of pleasure. I think so. Zuzika says taking a shower or going for a swim in the sea. I think so. I always imagine, because I don't do it myself because I can't swim, but I always imagine it must feel amazing to be able to go into the water and swim without worrying or being afraid of drowning. Sadly, I can't swim, but I imagine the feeling must be quite amazing. I think so. Alessandra says, buying some new clothing gives me pleasure. I think so. Going shopping can be a very pleasurable thing. However, sometimes you can get a little bit too excited. Maybe you end up spending too much money. You spend too much money. Hello, Suba. I like your attitude and learner and your teaching. Maybe you are talking about my teaching. Thank you, Suba. That's okay. Wonderful. My small pleasure is the smell of fresh chocolate cream and the smell of coffee when I wake up in the morning. Ah, yes. Some people love the smell of coffee, especially if you are one of those posh people who has one of those amazing coffee machines that makes all of the coffee fresh, from the bean to the cup. Very nice. Yes, I agree. I think the smell of coffee, fresh coffee, it is quite amazing. The other thing I like as well, while we are talking about smells and aromas, fish and chips. Wow. If I walk past anywhere that is making fish and chips, maybe a fish and chip shop. We have lots of those in the UK. We have many fish and chip shops here in the UK. I think going past one of those shops, the smell, the aroma that comes out is amazing. I love the smell of fish and chips.
when they are being fried. It's so gorgeous. Very gorgeous. Sujin says taking a bath in a hot spring. I've never done that. I've been in a jacuzzi, but to be honest with you, I'm not very keen on sharing baths with strange people, to be honest. People I don't know. So I don't normally get into the bathtub with people who I don't know, to be honest. Andy says I get pleasure from reading new, interesting historical books. Very good. So there are many things, many small things. Quite often you might find that these small pleasures in life can feel great. So you don't have to go out. You don't have to do extravagant things. Sometimes life will give you small pleasures, small moments of time. Maybe you get pleasure from cleaning. Some people do. They love the feeling of going around their house and cleaning everything. It gives them a lot of pleasure. I think so. Hello, Ivan. Good afternoon, Mr. Duncan. Nice to see you here. Do you remember me? I hope you do. Hello, Ivan. I haven't seen you for a long time. Where have you been? Nice to see you here again. Lewis says, pleasurable things. Seeing beautiful things and places. If anyone comes to Paris, they must take a walk by the left bank of the River Seine at night. It's very beautiful. You are right, Lewis. Yes. Well, I've been along the Seine in a boat at night. And it is the most amazing feeling. Lots of people out and about. Lots of atmosphere. So yes, I've actually done that. Very lucky last year to go to Paris with Mr. Steve. Mr. Steve's company gave us a free holiday last year. Very nice. We are going to take a short break. It's time to take a look at one of my full English lessons. And then after that, we are going to look at some unusual words. And if we have time, I'm not sure at the moment. Let's have a look. It is now 3:15. If we have time, we might also play the sentence game. We will see what happens. We will see what happens. How much time we have. So now we will look at one of my full English lessons. This is an excerpt from one of my full English lessons. Oh, it's full English 32. And then after that, we will be back as live can be. Hi everybody, and welcome to what can only be described as a video language lesson posted on the internet. Coming to you from the birthplace of the author A.A. Milne, who wrote the stories of Winnie the Pooh and his various animal friends, plus his human companion, Christopher Robin. Did you know that Christopher Robin was a real person? In fact, he was A.A. Milne's son. England is also the birthplace of the English language, which is why we are all here today. So without any more small talk or jibber-jabbering, let's get on with today's full English lesson, which will start right now. Your memory can play tricks on you. You might be at work doing something mundane when all of a sudden a memory pops into your head. It might be a random moment from your past. Something that has left an impression on you might simply pop up in your head. You might have a flashback. A moment in the present can send you back in time.
A certain sound or smell from your childhood that occurs in the present can transport you back to your younger years. Sometimes the memories consist of unhappy events and moments we would rather forget. Looking back on your life experiences is normal. You reminisce, you reflect, you consider what occurred by remembering the events that went before. As we get older, our distant memories become more precious. Your memories make you the person you are. They are your individual experiences that are an irreplaceable part of you. Here are two words that look similar but have different meanings. The words are frill and thrill. Firstly, the word frill with an F means an attractive addition or decoration. You make something look more appealing by adding frills. You might see a frill on a woman's dress or skirt. You might add frills to a pair of curtains so as to make them stand out more. So something that makes an item seem more appealing is a frill. In business, you might see frills being added to a particular type of service. This hotel is worth staying at, just for the frills. The extravagant services added to something can be described as frills. Of course, the opposite can also be true. If a business wants to cut costs or make something more affordable, then they might take away the frills. A basic service without the unnecessary comforts or luxury can be described as no frills. The air ticket to France is very cheap, but it comes with no frills. You are getting the basic flight with nothing added as a bonus. A basic service is a no-frills service. Then there is the word thrill, which can be either a noun, adjective or verb. Something that makes you feel a sudden rush of excitement can be described as a thrill. It was a thrill to see BTS in concert last night. I was thrilled to be asked to speak at the seminar. The sudden rush of excitement is a thrill. You feel the thrill. Your breathing becomes deeper. Your heart might suddenly start racing. You are feeling the thrill. The thing that gives you the thrill is thrilling, such as a thrilling fairground ride, a thrilling movie, or a thrilling expedition. The thrilling thing is the thrill. The thrill is what you get from the thing that is thrilling you. An excited-looking person can appear thrilled. The smile on his face told me that he was thrilled to be there. So as a noun, thrill names the feeling. As a verb, you can cause a person to feel thrilled. And as an adjective, a person can appear thrilled. So, there you have it. Frill and thrill. Two similar-looking words with very different meanings. It's true that the English language can be quite confusing, especially when it comes to pronunciation. Good examples of this occurrence are the words lose and loose, chose and choose. Firstly, the word lose means to mislace something. It describes the sudden loss of an item or person. The spelling of lose often causes confusion for many when it comes to written English. The word chose is used in the past tense as something that has been chosen. You chose it. I chose this dress yesterday whilst out shopping. So despite the similar spelling, The word lose and chose are pronounced very differently. Then we have loose and choose. Firstly, the word loose means the state of slackness or free movement. I have a loose tooth. I should go to the dentist, I guess. Then there is choose, which describes the action of making a selection. You select something. You choose an item. I will choose my wedding dress tomorrow. It's worth remembering that while chose and choose are related, lose and loose are not, thus proving that the English language can sometimes be a very confusing thing indeed. And there it was, an excerpt from one of my full English lessons. And don't forget, you can find all of my lessons on my YouTube channel. It is a very windy day here in the UK. I hope you are okay where you are. However, it is really windy. I can't believe how windy it is. Look at that. That is the view right now. That is what is happening behind me at this very moment. I wasn't expecting it to be so windy today, or else I would have been in the studio instead of outside, risking my life. I keep thinking that at any moment, maybe a piece of tree or maybe a large item will fly past, or maybe I will fly away myself. My little gazebo is blowing all over the place, I must be honest. Let's just say it's a very windy day today. It's windy here in the UK. Louisa is talking about a pleasure, a simple pleasure. We can find lots of simple pleasures in life. I think you are right. My small pleasure is simply a time with my granddaughters. Yes, I think so. Human contact. If there is one thing that we've all learnt over the past few months, certainly over the past 2 months, some people, of course, 3 months, the one thing we've learned is human contact is very important, especially when suddenly we can't be near the people who we want to be near. So yes, I agree with you. I think being near your friends, family, people who are precious to you, I think so. The sound of the wind is very loud. You are right. Yes, the sound of the wind is loud because it's blowing all around me, to be honest. Hello also to... Oh, hello Francesca. Hello also Palmyra. The birds are hidden. You are right. The birds are hiding. You might hear maybe some blackbirds, but at the moment there are very few birds around anywhere. They are all staying safely tucked away in the trees and also in the bushes as well. I think so. We are going to look at some unusual words, some strange words, and there are many unusual words in the English language. So I thought it would be fun to have a look at some unusual, some strange English words. For example, vociferous. Vociferous. To do something with a lot of energy, to do something which is boisterous. There's another interesting word, vociferous. You are loud, you are very vocal, you do something energetically. You are vociferous. It is a real word and it does exist in the English language. It is a real word, vociferous. Have you ever heard of this word? A person who is loud, vocal, they have a lot of energy, they are vociferous. A person who is vociferous. Interesting. Here's another one. So this word can be used to describe a person's character, the way someone is. Maybe if a person is often rude, or maybe they have a very clever way of using words to make another person feel bad. Words that can hurt another person. We can say acerbic, something that is sharp, something that can cause harm. Quite often we will describe a person who has a way of talking that makes other people feel upset. They are very good at saying things that can make another person feel unhappy or maybe hurt. You can describe a person as being acerbic. They have a certain type of use or a certain way of talking, using words. Something that is sharp, something that might be a little bitter, something that is acerbic. Sergio says, can you please let us guess what the meaning is? Oh, okay then. Here is acerbic. Does anyone know what this means? Oh, I'm too late. I've already told you. Okay, maybe the next one. Here we go. Here's the next one then. Here is another unusual word. Mither. You pronounce this word as mither. Does anyone know what this word means? Mither. Sometimes a child might mither their parents. So what does the word mither mean? Does anyone know what the meaning of the word is? If you mither someone, what does it mean? Hello, Long Duong. Hi, Mr. Duncan. Hello to you as well. Nice to see you here. Where are you watching at the moment? I have a feeling you might be in Vietnam. I think so. Julie says, I have no idea. A person who sometimes will mither you. Mither means bother. You bother someone. You keep asking a person the same question. You ask for something from your parents. You ask them again and again and again. You do it many times. You mither. Mither. It's a great word. Mither. It is bother. You bother someone. Maybe you keep asking them for the same thing. A child will often mither their parents. Maybe they want a new toy. Maybe there is something that they saw advertised on television, the latest toy that all the children have. And perhaps they will also mither their parents because they want it. Can I please have that new toy? Please? Oh, Mum, please. You will get in the way. You will keep asking the same question. You mither. You mither. You keep fussing about one thing. You are insisting on something happening. You will not let it lie. You keep asking for it. You are very insistent. I like it. It's a good word. An unusual word that exists in the English language. Here is another one. Another unusual word that does exist in English. We have... Oh, hello, Francesca. Yes, insistent. The word mither can mean insistent. Thank you very much for joining in with that. Hello, Robin.
Hello also to Ali Haj Bakar. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Hello, Ali. How are you today? I hope you're feeling all right and happy. Ari Hassan says, hi guys, I have just had a break and I am eating cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is one of those things that people eat when they are trying to stay healthy. To be honest with you, I like cottage cheese, but normally I like to have it with something else. Maybe a little bit of salad, or maybe samosas. So you can have cottage cheese with many other things. But quite often, if a person is trying to lose weight, or maybe they just want to have salad, quite often you will have cottage cheese with salad. Eclectic is the word that is on the screen. It has been on the screen for a few moments. Eclectic. What does the word eclectic mean? Eclectic means wide, broad. You have a very broad interest, or maybe you have an interest in many different things at the same time. So varied, broad. Your outlook is varied. There are many different things that you enjoy. Maybe you enjoy music. However, you enjoy lots of different types of music. Many different types of music. You can say that your music taste is eclectic. Eclectic. It means you have many likes, many types of things appeal to you. Your taste is eclectic, broad, wide, wide-ranging. Yes, Kem Dogan, you are right. Yes, you can say wide-ranging as well. A very good use of the word eclectic. To have a very broad interest in a certain topic. Or maybe if you have many different interests. Eclectic. I like that one. That's a good one. Oh, what's this? I like this one. Cock-a-hoop. Have you ever heard of this? A person who might be feeling cock-a-hoop. There it is. There is the word cock-a-hoop. I wonder what that means. A person who is feeling cock-a-hoop. What are they feeling? I suppose I could have my little cockerel, because we have the word cock on the screen. I couldn't resist that. I'm sorry. Cock-a-hoop. If a person is feeling cock-a-hoop, what are they feeling? What is their emotional state? How are they feeling at that moment? If a person is cock-a-hoop, I feel cock-a-hoop. Ali Haj says, so happy. Yes, a person who is feeling cock-a-hoop is happy. They are very joyous, excited, very happy about something. They are cock-a-hoop. I feel so cock-a-hoop to be here with you again. You are excited. It does. It sounds very funny. You are right. It is a very funny phrase. However, we do use it in English to express the fact that we are feeling excited and overjoyed about something. You are feeling cock-a-hoop. I can't wait to share my happiness with you, because today I am feeling cock-a-hoop. I like that. Here's another one. Oh, here's an interesting word. Oh, Mr. Duncan. Very interesting. Wanton. This word is pronounced wanton. Wanton. A person who is wanton. Maybe you are describing an action, perhaps. Wanton. So this is another word that we use in the English language, quite often describing behaviour, the mannerism of a person, the way someone does something. Hello Julie G. I like these special effects. Do you like my little cock? Yes, I think so. The other thing I like to do sometimes, sometimes I also like to fly my drone. Would you like to see my drone? Here it comes. So my drone is now coming over right now. It is spying on me. I have a feeling maybe my neighbours might be watching what I'm doing right now. I think so. Ooh. Ooh. You see? The drone keeps flying over. Oh, it's back again. You see? I can't have any privacy. There is always something happening in my garden. One of my special effects, you see. That's what that was. Sem or Kem says, oh, Mr. Duncan, the word wanton means lustful. Yes, wanton. Passionate. You do something without holding back. Wanton. Something that is done maybe unnecessarily. You do something without any reason. Wanton. So you might describe a person as destroying things for no reason. We might say that action is wanton destruction. It is being done for no reason, no purpose. It is just being done. Something you can't control, an uncontrollable desire. Something that makes you feel very attracted. Or maybe you have an urge to do something. Wanton. You can't control your feelings. Wanton. I like that one. Yes, it's a great word. A meaningless thing, an action that has no meaning, or to do something passionately with lust. Ooh. Naughty Mr. Duncan. Thank you, Sergio. Thank you also, Peter. Yes, wanton. It is a very interesting word. Talking of interesting words, here is another interesting word. An unusual word that exists in the English language. Oh, Mr. Duncan, what is this? Jiggery pokery. Jiggery pokery. It is a real English phrase. We do use it, definitely. Yes, Tin Dang Juan says it is a windy day. You are right. You are definitely right. It is very windy here in the UK. As you can see behind me, it is very windy. An incredibly windy day here in the UK right now. I am cock-a-hoop to see you again, Mr. Duncan. Thank you very much. A very good use of that phrase. Very good. So here's another one. Jiggery pokery. Ooh. Jiggery pokery. It is a real expression, and yes, it does exist in English. It is real. I didn't make it up. It sounds like I made it up, but it is definitely real. Jiggery pokery. Something is not right here. I think maybe there is some jiggery pokery. Something suspicious is going on. Something that is happening that I'm not aware of. Some jiggery pokery. A person who is trying to avoid me, maybe.
They are trying to avoid me. They are trying to avoid something. They are going out of their way to avoid something. So maybe a person disappears. I can't see them anywhere. However, I know that they are nearby. They are avoiding me. They are trying to dodge something. There is some jiggery-pokery taking place. I think so. Kem says dodge. Dodge. Yes. You are trying to avoid something. You are trying to avoid doing something. There is a little bit of jiggery-pokery going on. I like that one. Julie says it sounds like a word from Harry Potter. It does, doesn't it? It sounds like one of his spells, but it isn't. Jiggery-pokery. You are trying to avoid doing something. Something Marcos. Oh, hello, Marcos. Marcos Chavez says poop. I'm not sure if jiggery-pokery means poop. I don't think it does. A man who is a politician often uses jiggery-pokery. Maybe they are trying to avoid something or work their way around something. Yes. Maybe a devious person. A person who is devious. Yes. Maybe they are not to be trusted. Jiggery-pokery. I like that one. Here's one more. This is the last one. Another word that we use in English, and it is a real word, tomfoolery. If you take part, or if your action is described as tomfoolery. This one, you might know. You may have heard of this before. Maybe you haven't. I don't know. So, tomfoolery. It sounds like someone's name, but it isn't. It is not someone's name. It means a certain thing, a certain type of action. Tomfoolery. Does anyone know what it means? I will tell you what it means in a moment. What does it mean, Mr. Duncan? Can you please tell us? Tomfoolery is messing around, being silly. Maybe you are wasting time. Maybe you are just acting the fool. Maybe you are a person who is just messing about, not taking things seriously. Maybe things that seem absurd, something you can't understand. A person is behaving in a very odd, crazy way. They are making no sense. So yes, it does look like the word fool. Tomfoolery. It means you are just messing around. You are messing about. You are not taking things seriously at all. It's so windy today. I can't believe how windy it is. So there we had some unusual English words. We might have some more of those next week. There are many unusual words that exist in the English language. I am going to go soon for two reasons. One, I feel slightly unsafe standing out here in this wind. And also two, I'm hungry. I haven't had anything to eat today yet. So I've had nothing to eat at all today. So I've just realised that I am a little bit hungry. So I will be going soon. Mr. Duncan, here in Glasgow, it is also very windy and also quite cold. I know that in Scotland, the wind is even stronger than this. So this is nothing. So the wind that is happening now around me
The wind that is blowing here is nothing compared to the wind that is blowing in Scotland. In Scotland, the wind is really strong today. Very strong. Sergio says, I like tomfoolery the most. Yes, a very interesting word. If you are messing about, you are playing the fool. You are acting childish. You are not taking things seriously. Yes, Mr. Duncan, you can go and eat. Thank you very much. I will tell you what I have in the house at the moment. I have something very nice in the house. Fresh scones. My neighbour very kindly gave some scones to us. So yes, that's what we will be doing soon. I will be having something to eat. A cup of tea with Mr. Steve. Although I've noticed that Steve has disappeared. I think Steve has gone back into the house. He can't stand this violent weather that is occurring at the moment. Saeed Jean, or Saeed Joan, says, Mr. Duncan, it is also very windy in London. Yes, so it would appear that all across the UK today, the wind is very strong indeed. I think so. We have talked about a lot of things today, haven't we? On Sunday, I will be back with you, by the way, on Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time, for those who want to know. My lessons, my live English Addict lessons are with you on Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. UK time. I know this is a little shorter. Normally I do 2 hours, but today I'm going to cut it short a little bit. So we are going to end a little bit earlier than normal, mainly because of the wind. Hello, Lewis. Lewis says to Sergio, you are sometimes sarcastic and you don't like to take things seriously. And I like the characters like that, when they are human beings. Yes, sometimes we do take things too seriously. I agree. A lot of people say that I am immature. They say, Mr. Duncan, you are very immature. You behave like a child. You should act your age. And I say, no, you don't have to. There are no rules that say that you have to behave like an adult all the time. Sometimes it's fun to be childish. Sometimes it is fun not to take things too seriously. So that's what I like to do anyway. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you for spending your time with us. You are the best. Thank you very much. 2 p.m. UK time. I'm not going to have a dance today. I will not be dancing today, unfortunately, but I am going into the house because I feel a little safer in there compared to here, standing under my gazebo. So yes, I think I am going to go back into the house now before the wind gets any stronger. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Barack. Thank you to Richard. Thank you very much for your company today. Tamara says, I like jiggery pokery. That sounds like a very interesting word. I like it very much. I think so. There are so many strange words in the English language. Many, in fact. Many, many. Thank you, Robin. Thank you also, Mosen. Enjoy your time, Mr. Duncan, this afternoon. Yes, I'm going back into the house now before I get blown away by the wind. Thank you, Study Point. Mr. Duncan, please tell me, do people speak like in the UK or other European countries or not? When you say lie, oh, do you mean lie? Do you mean to be untrue or dishonest? Well, I suppose everyone lies sometimes. we can all be a little bit dishonest sometimes. So maybe that's what you are talking about. Do other people speak like the UK? Or maybe you are talking about accents. Yes, there are many different English accents. There are many accents in the English language here in this country, and also across Europe as well. Yes, you are right. You are right. Thank you, Vitas. Thank you, Peter. I am now going to say goodbye, but I will be back with you on Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time. I hope the weather on Sunday will be a little bit better than today, to be honest. I'm going to be honest now and say I didn't feel very safe out here with the wind blowing all around me. Thank you, Sergio. Thank you, Palmyra. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Mika. Thank you, Irene. I will see you on Sunday. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. Yes, I'm back on Sunday, and also Mr. Steve will be here as well to join us on the live stream. And of course, until the next time we meet here, take care, have a good weekend, enjoy the rest of your Friday, have a super Saturday, and I will see you on Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. And of course, until the next time we meet here on YouTube, take care, stay safe, ta-ta for now.